Whiskey with TruNews. We are at Day 3 of Mike Lindell's Cyber Symposium, and I have with me today State Representative Timothy Ramthun from Wisconsin. Is that correct? You came all the way from Wisconsin, huh?
471 miles. We drove it. Yes, my wife is here with me. You bet.
So you've been here the full 3 days, and what are your thoughts on this event?
Well, I came with an open mind and a desire to hear input. My focus has been to really embrace the necessity for truth. I want conspiracy and conjecture out of the questions regarding our election, not just locally or even within my own state, but nationally. And I'm open to hearing all sides. And I will tell you that the people who don't think this is a good place to be right now, or the people who think that there isn't a problem with our election integrity, are part of that problem, because if to feel that way and do nothing about it is what concerns me. Everyone should be concerned that the election process is secure and safe and fair and legal. And if it's not, nobody wins. So I'm here for that. I want the input. And I'm still a firm believer that my state, Wisconsin, should have a full cyber forensic audit so that we can ensure that we eliminate the concerns.
Is it in your opinion that there was voter irregularities in Wisconsin in 2020 in the presidential election?
Well, it's a great question, and to that I would say in February the campaign and elections chairperson, Janelle Branchin, had a committee hearing, and she brought in individuals from Brown County, which is the Green Bay area of the state, and there was clear evidence that things happened that shouldn't have and things that should have happened that didn't. And that's what really got me concerned, and long story short, it got actually worse from there because the noise got bad, and I just want to end it. I want closure. I need closure. My district and my state needs closure. So yeah, there's cause for concern, and there's reason and merit to do a full cyber forensic audit. Yes.
I know that the biggest concern is that our votes don't count. People are worried about election integrity. What's the point in voting if our vote isn't going to count? Now, when you get home from here tomorrow or the next week, do you plan on holding a hearing, or what actions do you plan on taking moving forward after what you experiencing what you've learned here? I know it's not over yet, and I know we have some big information coming soon, but what are your plans to take action to restore election integrity in your state of Wisconsin?
Well, that's a fantastic question. I consider myself a low person on the poll here. I mean, there is the Speaker of our Assembly, Representative Robin Voss. There is the Chair for Campaign and Elections, Janelle Branchin. We've got another element of investigative oversight through the Speaker's office that is currently just getting initiated. We've got the Legislative Audit Bureau, who's looking at all 72 counties right now on process. There's only a 4-element scope statement for their mission, but they're looking at all 72 counties. So to get to my point, I'm here to listen, gather data, bring it back for all of those entities to hear, to help the collective process. Maybe we merge some things and bring some stuff together. Maybe we continue to have separate focus. But at the end of the day, I hope that what I can add to help address your question is that I can encourage and support the merit of a full cyber forensic audit. So that's what I plan on doing. But I'll have to work with the entities that are already in play. That's how I see my job. But I also see my job as a person of, by, and for the people. I have to serve them too, and those are the people I report to. I don't report to the individuals in Madison, Wisconsin. I work with them, but I don't work for them. I work for my constituents, and that's another reason I'm here too. So, and they're overwhelmingly elated that I'm here. I'm just inundated with physical paper, USPS letters to my office, emails, phone calls, social media comments. I mean, it's just overwhelming that they're just really glad that I'm here. So, and I do reports 2 a week. One is called the Ramthun Report. It's a YouTube Rumble channel. You can go Ramthun Report. You can see my stuff, and or e-update. If you contact my office, there's a weekly. I do 2 of them. There's 132 legislators in Wisconsin, and I believe I'm the only one that does updates a week. And I do 2 different versions of updates, and they're never the same thing. So I try to give the people as much information as I can about what it's like to be me, which is a really tough job right now. This is incredibly challenging, and I'm just blessed to be here. So I give glory to God for the opportunity to serve. He called upon me to serve, and I'm obedient to the Lord, and that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Well, we are a Christian news network, so we certainly appreciate that. We are so thrilled to have Christian representation. I know, does Wisconsin have a majority Republican state legislator?
In Wisconsin? Yes. Yeah, there's 99 members in the Assembly and 33 in the Senate. The Senate has a 21 to 12 margin lead, and the Assembly has a 61 to 38 lead. But we do have a Democratic governor, so you can try to pass really good legislation, and if it's partisan, it has a good chance of being vetoed, and that's what our governor has done basically the last 3 years. The majority of the bills that he's looked at have not passed, to my understanding. So.
Well, seeing all the concerns that we have with the electronic voting machines, the allegations against like Dominion and Smartmatic, there's been a lot of allegations, but what it has caused, and I'm not sure if we've proved it, they've been able to prove it or not, but what it has caused is distrust with the electronic voting machines. Now, is that something that state legislators, I think it's time that we go back to paper ballots, and hand counting those ballots. We cannot trust electronic voting machines. It's not just the particular brand, it's the machines in general. People don't trust the process.
That question was mentioned, and I've heard it several times here, the question of we've expanded the process to include electronics, and that has opened the door for backdoor nefarious acts that get us to where we are today, questioning the integrity of our elections. Paper ballots, the only way to go, has been mentioned as an alternative. I think that's what one of the levels of merit of this opportunity here in Sioux Falls is. Talking about our processes is included in this, and if the electronic element is something that we need to revisit, to readdress, to help solve the problem of concern and integrity, then maybe we need to do that. But I don't have an opinion on it yet. I'm sure that'll be one of the things that comes out of the result of discussion and action to follow.
Now, are you waiting to see how the Arizona-Maricopa County audits turn out in order to pursue a forensic audit in Wisconsin, or is that something you plan to go right ahead and jump into?
Another great question. Mid-July, July 15th specifically, I think, the Arizona Senate met and had their preliminary informational hearing on their audit. They weren't going to do a preliminary, as I understood. They were going to wait till it was all done. But they had so much to talk about and so many concerns that they had a preliminary on the 15th. That's roughly the same day I put out my first press release that basically said to my state and my legislative body, we need to do something now. We need to do something more. And so our Legislative Audit Bureau had started their 72-county analysis back in February, which is, I'm not exactly sure what they're all doing, okay? But it's not comprehensive or surgical. People like to use the word forensic. Any data you get in an investigation that can be used in a court of law is forensic. So even if the scope statement is very small, it can still be considered a forensic audit or review. I want something comprehensive that covers the ballots, the process, the chain of custody, the machines, the modems, the IP addresses. I mean, everything that the election utilizes and or ballots touch has to be part of the scope statement of the audit. So Arizona's update got me all excited, and I sent out the note, and it's been growing ever since. Then the chairman sent out of campaign and elections sent out a notice, and the speaker sent something out, and I put another press release out about pushing forward a full cyber forensic audit. Then the chairperson put out 2 subpoenas. So we've had a tremendous amount of activity on the subject of campaign and elections since mid-July, and it started with my press release. So I'm not waiting for Arizona to get done. However, the preliminary feedback from that state says there's reason to ask for an audit. In fact, all 50 states, all 50, not just 2 or 3 or 5 or the swing states or the 7 that sent alternative electoral ballots for the Electoral College. I think all 50 states should be looking at what happened in their respective states. So I'm not waiting for anybody, and I don't like waiting, so that's why I'm pushing the audit.
So there's been an overwhelming attack on truth. There's been an attack on people who try to stand for truth, especially God-fearing politicians. You had mentioned that you love God and that you were called to serve. And you are representing Christian constituents also. Like, a lot of us are just looking for somebody who is willing to fight for us. How do you not back down when the evil attacks you? Because I know the smear campaign comes. I know the slander comes. How do you hold firm?
I embrace the virtue of the calling. And I know in my heart that for such a time as this, I'm here for a reason. I'm part of a process. It's not about Tim, and I also don't care about me. I mean, that's another thing. I do this job to the best of my ability. I'm desperate to do it, but I'm not desperate to keep it. So my focus is where it should be, of by and for the people, with the Lord helping me sustain, even when I campaigned for this job. There were times when it was 125 in the shade or the rains were pouring. And I called those days my footprints in the sands moment, because when I was walking to do doors, those weren't my footprints. So I was carried then to ensure I'd be here, and I promised him when I got here that I would do all I could of, by, and for the people in his name and his glory. So I don't like the criticisms, and I really have difficulty sometimes understanding how people can be so mean and even evil. However, our world is full of that. And so, when you sign up to serve and you're in public eye, you better put your big boy pants on, because it's going to come, and especially when you're trying to do something right for the people. And if it's a conservative view, you're definitely going to get attacked. So my family, my faith in the Lord, my friends, and I know my overwhelming support. I'm probably 90% plus in my district that appreciate what I'm doing. So that support, by the way, to all you people who reach out to me and send me your notes and your emails, that's fuel for my passion. It's fuel for the fire, and it confirms that I'm on the right thing for you. So thank you for that.
And thank you. And it's good to know that encouragement works. You're actually a TruNews viewer too, so we're so thrilled to have you on. The people love you. Thank you for everything, and thanks for coming on.